Hi everyone, this is Dawn Marie with Creative DME Designs, and what do you do when you have to make a little boy's baby journal? You have to participate in a perfect patterns getting creative collab, and you have to do something for your guest design team with that you need something old, something new, something lacy, something blue, and a Dear Julie, Julie digital. Well, you throw them all together, and hopefully you come up with this. I have gotten pieces ready for you guys, just because I did have to. This is the front and the back. It was a Scrabble board, and it was going to take a while to get the stuff to glue. This is jeans from a pair of old jeans, and this is leatherette that I got from the Dollar Tree a long time ago. So I'm going to use this one as the front. I'm not sure how I'm going to bind this yet. That's why it's not done. And also, in order to move things along for you guys, we have to do perfect patterns. So jean is a pattern. It's a it's got the blue and the white warp and weft thread in it. And then this is something new. I found this beautiful piece of fabric, actually with the baby's grandmother, from somebody who was getting rid of a bunch of fabric. This was just a little tiny scrap that was rolled up in the corner of something, so I pulled it. And yes, it's for a boy, but there still can be florals in it. I'm having a doggy wanting to come up with me. Oh, you know what? They're just going to have to wait. So what I have done is I have made this so I can make it a flip. Because on the inside, I think I'm going to have them put all of his information, when he's born and all that kind of stuff. So, I have to get these dogs up with me, or they will scream like that throughout the whole entire process. So yes, Abby and Billy Goat are going to be up here with me. Okay, girls, get in your cubby. Okay, so I have these, and it's for junk journal ideas and inspirations. It's perfect patterns. So putting this on that adds to that pattern. And then I figured I'd put the stars in, because stars are always good for a baby boy. And I already put this piece of jean down there because it's because I had leftover from when I did this cover, and it had glue on it. So I literally just slapped it on, and then I actually had to try to fit the paper to make it. I should have just waited, but and then I went through tons of different people's sites to look for cute little boy things, and I found this cute, adorable little boy that I think will go well with this. So the other pattern I put into play here is the pattern that makes it look like metal, like that sort of looks like metal, but it's actually paper. So that behind it sort of brings out the grays that are in it. I was a little hesitant to do this because of the gold back here, but I think it's going to be okay. When it comes time, we'll put his name and birth date there. But I did ink the edges with rusty hinge, figuring that would bring some of the rust in. But the other thing I want to do to this, I'm just going to set this aside right now, is we have to put something lacy on for Julie's. So I thought, how am I going to get baby boy with lace? I mean, that just doesn't go together. Although back in the old days, baby boys wore a lot of lace because they had their beautiful little lacettes or whatever they were called. So if you take this gray lace, and I also have added distressed inks to it. I did, let's see, hickory smoke, frayed burlap, and a little bit of the rust. If we put it on backwards, like this, it makes it look a lot more masculine. So let's go ahead and use this and stick that on. And then I already inked the top and bottom for this, but I want to cut them with you guys so you can see how I cut them, so I get them to match up. So I am putting this on just so the white technically is on the white. So you're going to see a lot of the gray. So let's turn it over. So you can see here, I'm going to mush around to make sure that it's in the spot that I want it. Yep, that's perfect. Now, let's pull that one out a little bit. So see how that looks a little more masculine than with the floofy white on the outside. So then what I do here is, just to make sure, is I do trim it right straight to the edge of this, of the paper. And I try to get it, I may even go down a little diagonally so that you get all the little edges off and there's not going to be any showing. Madonna, come on. Okay, and let's trim this one off. And just pull that little white piece off. And then we're going to trim this edge as close to it as possible, because you don't want that little piece of white showing. We're going to go like that. I could have just, I mean, I'm glad that the white is there because you can glue to the white. But you have to remember, you have to look at all pieces of anything you have. I actually accidentally, I had this out and I was trying to figure out how to use it, and I threw a little piece down like that, and I thought, oh, that will work. So sometimes the little goofy things that you do helps. So because we want this to cut exactly to that, I'm going to go just a little beyond, because this edge stinks. It's a stinky edge. Okay, there we go. That's a bad edge. So I'm going to keep this right actually on the lace, and I'm going to fix this to here to make sure that that it goes, and then I'll actually, you know what? I'm just going to cut it now because I have a good eyeball, I think. Okay, so we're going to put glue on this, and you have to make sure you get it all the way to the edge of even the lace. Okay. Now the good thing here is that for the baby journal, it's meant to be sort of a woodland theme, but his granddad, the baby's granddad, or I don't know what they're going to call him, is really into NASCAR, so I figured this would be really cute on the front. I couldn't find anything woodland baby that I really liked. I mean, on the inside it will look great, but for the outside, because I figured the outside sort of has to be a little bit special. Okay, you can see I didn't quite make it long enough with my inking. So this is what I do. I don't know, Tim Holtz is probably going to have a heart attack if he sees me do this, but because I'm doing such a big section here, or well, it's bigger than getting a brush out. I don't feel like doing that. I take my little mini and I just do dab, dab, dab and rub just to get it on there. That's pretty much what I use my minis for, is a lot of dabbing. I know I can get my dabber out, but not when you got these cute little things right here. Okay, let's get some black or some dark hickory smoke on there. And I do use my fingers. Okay, and then I do have a little rusty hinge on it. You can see there's some right there. I love rusty hinge. It is one of my favoriteest colors because I'm an orange person. So, yep, rusty hinge goes on there too because then it makes it look like it's sort of metalled. So, okay. I'm going to put it on and then cut the edges off because I want to make sure that you get it all the way to the edge of that lace so that can definitely get cut down so you know where your cut edge is. I very rarely measure things because you can measure on your own terms, meaning with what you have with you and as you're working. To square off something, I might measure, but a lot of times I just find the straight edge and then I square it off with my tiny thing here or my big cutter. So I'm going to go right up that edge. See? And I'm going to go right up this edge. And that's good. So this little boy now has something lacy for Julie. So we have something old. The digital is new. Blue, obviously, we've got here. Lacy. And now I just have to find something from Dear Julie to go on here. But let's go ahead and glue this together, and then I'll pull my stuff for her out and see if I can find it. And of course, this is supposed to be perfect patterns, so I think mixing patterns, even though they really, I mean, if you were to grab these, you would never think that this would match, or I would never have put these together. I don't think. Let me see something here. Okay, because I've put the little lace on, it is going over that, but that's okay. So I'm going to actually just go ahead and glue this on. The lace is going to go above the stars, but that's okay. I don't care. It just makes a little boo-boo that I made a little extra special that I know it's there. I bet you 100% nobody will ever see that it's a boo-boo and that it's not even. Although the little boy's grandmother is pretty meticulous in her sewing, so she may actually say, hey, Dawn Marie, that's not even. But they're my neighbors. So I think I have that pretty centered. And I actually don't mind that that's sticking up just that little bit. And then I will put the little tab there for his name. And actually, I have a really good idea for that. And it will use one of Julie's. So I'm just going to stick this on here right now. Nope, I'm not going to stick it on there. Let's work on putting this on here. Okay, so I've already put a piece of sticky tape on the jeans. So, because that's the way I got it down on here, and this is another remnant from that. I do want all of his birth information to go in this little thing here, and I have a really pretty page for that I'm waiting to come in, that I ordered from Amazon. So I'm going to just put this on. And yes, once again, I did not measure. I am keeping quite a bit of space over here because if I decide how I'm gonna bind it, it may be a ring binder, you know, where I put rings through here. I also could add something down here in order to make the the spine. So I did offset this, and I don't like things to be perfectly centered anyway. So there we go. And actually, I have started sewing on these, but I don't think I'm going to sew anything on this cover yet. I may sew stuff on the inside. I don't know. I probably should have thought of that before I did this, but that's okay. Okay, so that's going to go there, and it's going to be able to be opened up, so you will have all of his information in here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a piece of fabric, and this is another pattern. And I say as long as you have a sort of color, like for instance this blue right here is in these flowers, that it will match. It's a floral pattern, but stripes go with florals. Stars go with florals. Jeans go with florals. I am not a flowery person, and I tend to do a lot of flowery stuff with being on the design team for Julie, because she does a lot of flowers. She has some beautiful flower kits on her Etsy shop. And when you do a challenge from her, if you complete that month's challenge, the next month you get a gift, and it's usually the brand new Digi kit that's coming out. So it's really a bonus because her Digi kits are huge. And even though they may not always be my style, I always can find something in it to use. And I print out just the pages that I truly think I'm going to use, and keep the other ones. You know, someday somebody may want a journal with vintage kids in it, and I'll be able to pull up Julie's stuff. And roses and, you know, sunflowers and all of those fun things that she has in her kits. But I do like that I get, when I finish a journal for the challenge every month, that we get her DigiKits. That's just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm still wondering if something should maybe go behind. No, I don't think it would be too far layered. Too many layers. But let's see. How many patterns do we have here? We have this, this, this. That's a separate pattern. The metal look is a pattern. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Oh, and I do have, actually, I do have this piece right here, which needs to get glued on here. So we can do that right now too. That would have been the piece, if I had thought about it, that I would have actually sewed on there. But I can make fake stitches. I actually enjoy making fake stitches with my pen. It's sort of zen-like. So this will be his name tag. And I'm sure they're going to have something made up, you know, with his name, and they'll just be able to cut that out and put it there. I'm thinking I am going to put some of these little corner tags on there, which actually is another pattern, you know, having the diagonal there, or another piece, another additive to all of this, you know, and these corners, so that, you know, you'll just be able to slip that in. She'll be able to cut it to that size. And in fact, I'll probably put a piece of paper that matches that size in there, so she'll know exactly what size it needs to be. I like to make things easy for people. So let's see if we can get this centered on this piece. It's not a totally centered one. I don't like things centered. I like things to be crazy and off kilter. Things that will make type A people I guess that's my goal in life, to make type A people nervous because something isn't perfect. That's funny. I made a funny today. Okay, so there's the cover. I have not yet put a Julie thing on, but let's see what I have in here. I know there's a bunch of Julie things in here. And if I know what I'm looking for. It's just to find it. Nope, it's not there. And that's not a Julie thing, but that would look really good there, wouldn't it? To be the card for the insert. I think that's what it's going to be. I think I'm just going to cut that, and this can be the insert card, because I think that will look really pretty there. See, you start going through stuff, and you... This will just be so she can know what size it is. Okay. Okay, let me get some of my sticker thingies. I just pulled you out. Where are you? Come on. Come out. Come out. Come out. Wherever you are. I should have pulled more off the roll than I did. They're here. I know they are. Where are they? Arrgh. Oh well. I can't find them. I don't know what I did with them. Oh, isn't that annoying when you can't find something? So I'll end up taking the little black corner things and putting them here. And that will be where she'll put his name when he's born. So what I am going to do on the inside here is Julie has this really, really pretty marbled paper. Excuse me. I do actually have some of that here. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Where's my Julie stash stuff? Here it is. Aha, here it is. It's really pretty marbled that pretty much I use in everything because I like dark colors and I like, you know, these are beautiful colors. And yeah, I probably could have used it behind the little boy because there's that little tiny bit of red and there's the orange here. But I really like that I used that metal. So I think what I'm going to do here is when you open it up, I am going to use one of these sides as where to put the birth announcement. So I'm just going to quickly trim this off. It doesn't have to be even because I know this corner is square. And yes, this I am going to have to measure because although if it were me, so I'm going to show you a trick. And this is how lazy I am, guys. If I don't want to have to get out my measuring and I know it's got to go underneath here, I just take my pencil or my pen and just draw around there. Let's see if it even showed up because this feels like, yeah, there's nothing in that one. That's one of those liquid pens. And this one, I don't know if you've ever seen this. This one has a flat lead in it, and it's for doing flat sides, so it doesn't round off. It's from Right Dudes, and it's wonderful. So you know it's got to fit underneath here, right? So why not just stick it in and then just make sure you cut behind the line you made. So, and you know that this edge is straight because it's from the original. So I'm going to stick where the line I wrote on this little marker right here. And that's just because I think it's 1/4 of an inch, and that will bring it 1/4 of an inch in. And I will do this.